Have you ever wondered why your car has so much plastic under the hood? Plastic intake manifolds, plastic valve covers, plastic coolant housings, plastic reservoirs, connectors, clips, and engine covers. You open the hood and it feels like everything is plastic, and almost every customer says the same thing. They don't make them like they used to. And honestly, they're right, they don't. I'm Kevin with Kevin's Mobile Automotive Repair, and this is part of my Have You Ever Wondered Why series, where I break down what's normal, what's not, and why modern vehicles are engineered the way they are. To understand why cars use so much plastic today, you have to understand how cars used to be built. Older vehicles relied heavily on metal, cast iron intake manifolds, steel brackets, aluminum housings, thick metal valve covers. Everything was heavier, more rigid, and more forgiving when it came to repairs. Those engines looked and felt solid, and there's a reason people still associate metal with durability. But here's the part that usually gets left out of the conversation. Older vehicles were also heavier, less fuel efficient, produced far more emissions, required more frequent adjustments and maintenance, and were significantly less safe in crashes. Back then, fuel economy standards were lower. Emissions regulations were looser. Crash safety requirements were nowhere near what they are today. Weight simply wasn't the priority it is now. Modern vehicles are built around completely different rules. Today, manufacturers design cars to meet strict fuel economy standards, emissions regulations, safety ratings, and manufacturing efficiency targets. Every pound matters. Every ounce matters. Weight reduction is one of the biggest reasons plastic is everywhere. Plastic components are significantly lighter than aluminum or steel. When manufacturers replace several metal parts with one engineered plastic component, they reduce overall vehicle weight. That weight reduction improves fuel economy, lowers emissions, and helps manufacturers meet government regulations. Less weight also improves handling, braking, and performance. That's not accidental, it's engineering. Now let's clear up a big misconception. The plastic under your hood is not cheap household plastic. It's not the same plastic as a water bottle or a toy. Most underhood components are made from high-temperature engineered composites, often glass-filled nylon or reinforced thermoplastics. These materials are specifically designed to survive extreme heat, chemical exposure, vibration, and thousands of heat cycles over many years. These materials are tested in ways most people never see. Heat-soak tests, chemical resistance tests, vibration tests, long-term durability testing. In many applications, plastic actually performs better than metal. Metal transfers heat quickly. Plastic insulates better. That can help control intake air temperatures, protect electronic components, and reduce heat transfer where it isn't wanted. Plastic also absorbs vibration and sound better than metal. That's one reason modern vehicles are quieter than older vehicles. Less vibration, less noise, more comfort. Another major reason plastic is used so much is manufacturing efficiency. Plastic components can be molded into complex shapes as a single piece. Instead of machining multiple metal parts, bolting them together, sealing them with gaskets, and stacking tolerances on top of tolerances, manufacturers can mold one part that does the job of several. That means fewer joints, fewer gaskets, fewer fasteners, fewer potential leak points. From a manufacturing standpoint, that's a huge advantage. Now let's talk honestly about durability. Yes, plastic can fail. Over time, repeated heat cycles can make plastic brittle, coolant fittings can crack, plastic threads can strip, connectors can break if they're handled incorrectly. Anyone who works on modern vehicles sees this, but metal fails too. Aluminum corrodes, steel rusts, bolts seize, gaskets leak, threads strip in aluminum just as easily as plastic. Everything wears out eventually. The real difference is how and when it fails. Older cars often used heavier materials and looser tolerances, but they required more frequent maintenance and adjustment. Carburetors needed tuning, ignition timing drifted, fuel systems were less precise. Rust was a constant problem. Modern vehicles use lighter materials and tighter tolerances. When they're maintained properly, engines today routinely last 200,000 miles or more. That wasn't nearly as common decades ago. Now let's talk about repair technique, because this matters. Modern vehicles require a different approach. Over-tightening a bolt into plastic can crack a housing. Forcing a connector can break a tab. Using the wrong tool can cause damage that wouldn't happen on an older all-metal engine. Older vehicles were more forgiving. Modern vehicles require precision. That doesn't mean modern vehicles are weak. It means they're engineered to tighter limits. This is where a lot of frustration comes from. People try to work on new cars the same way they worked on old ones, and things break. That's not bad design. That's mismatched technique. There's also a safety angle that doesn't get enough attention. Modern vehicles are dramatically safer than older vehicles. Crumple zones, reinforced structures, airbag systems, advanced restraint systems, and crash energy management are far beyond what older cars had. Those safety improvements require changes in materials, design, and weight distribution. Plastic plays a role in that system. Now let's bring in the comparison everyone argues about old cars versus new cars. Old cars were simpler. New cars are smarter. Old cars were easier to diagnose without tools. New cars can diagnose themselves. Old cars felt mechanical. New cars feel refined. Old cars required more hands on maintenance. New cars require more knowledge and tools. Neither is perfect, so they're just built for different priorities. So when someone says they don't make them like they used to, they're absolutely right. They don't. They make them lighter. They make them more efficient. They make them cleaner. They make them quieter. And they make them much safer. Is plastic always the best solution? No. Some designs are better than others. Some components fail earlier than they should. But the idea that plastic automatically means cheap or poorly built just isn't accurate. It means the vehicle was designed to meet modern requirements: fuel economy, emissions, safety, and manufacturing consistency. So have you ever wondered why your car has so much plastic? Now you know. It's not just cost cutting, it's weight reduction. It's emissions compliance, it's heat management, it's noise reduction, it's safety engineering, and it's modern manufacturing priorities. I'm Kevin with Kevin's Mobile Automotive Repair, and this is part of my Have You Ever Wondered Why